And we're live as I try to figure out the height of this sucker. All right, guys. So, let's talk about keto and hormones and body fat. I became inspired. Okay, yeah, I was getting a text, which is so annoying during a live stream. What's up, Monique? Okay, you guys, I'm going to keep this a very short stream, but I wanted to talk what is going on with my... Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Hey, everyone. So I thought I would talk about... Yo, what's up, Greg? Immediately liking before even listening. Ah, thank you. Life Health, and now... What is it? Lika or something like that? Okay. What's up, everyone? So, okay, I thought I'd talk about, I got inspired to do this stream because of my morning consultation. And, hey, everyone. So, I had a consultation this morning with a woman, very lovely, but she was doing keto to lose weight. Yes, where someone says my name is, where it says it correctly. Oh, cool. I Stephanie want to do keto, but worried about severe irritability I get when detoxing off of sugar. Okay, I can talk about that. So let me talk about hormones first. And then I'm going to answer you guys' questions, and then I'm going to bounce. Such a beautiful day outside. So I shouldn't be on a live stream in my apartment. So I got inspired by this conversation because I know that even though I've spoken about this before, that I have to reiterate the things that you guys are talking about the most. So the things that you guys are talking about the most is, why can't I lose weight? Like that's the main subject. And I avoid it all the time. And so I went out to dinner with some friends last night who do keto, and I said, you know, how can I do... What's up, Deborah? Hi, Stephanie, I want to do keto, but we're okay. Having severe leg cramps, doing everything. You're not doing everything, So I don't know where your potassium source is coming from, nor do I know where your magnesium source is coming from. And I don't know about how much water you lost. So all of these things. So cramping is a sign of, typically a sign of electrolyte imbalance, typically. Now, while doing keto, and I don't know how long you've done it for. So when it comes to this woman who's doing keto and she's like, I can't lose weight. I can't. She did the H diet, right? The HG. And the reason why I can't say it all is because of the way the monetization works with these videos. Oh yeah, to like up the stream, you get stream because there's only 16 likes. Oh yeah, what's up? We down with the likes. You gotta hit the X in the right corner and it'll collapse the window, and then you reopen the chat, and then you can see me here live. So liking the stream, and I have to remind people of this stuff, but liking the stream helps bring more attention on the YouTube algorithm to bring people to my very humble, not super small, but not big channel for how long I've been talking about this. Yeah, so like up the stream. So the thing is that if I spoke about fat loss, now I mention this all the time. Why is it that my thing isn't high enough? I need to raise my tripod. Then I'm 51. And I just did a live stream on my keto course page. I have a keto course Facebook page. It's a membership page, so I have to sign up for it on my website, but it's great. And so I was just live there in this small group, and I was trying to talk about, try to create an understanding of why, let's say my body looks like this at 51. Hey everyone, thank you. Thank you, Deborah, for writing in very big, bold, capital letters how to like the stream, because a lot of people don't know how to actually do it. And I can't see who's liking up the stream, so don't think I'm seeing it. It's very private, so. But with that said, as far as what I can see, with that said, is there a genetic, or is it epigenetic or genetics that play a role in why I'm so lean doing keto for so long? Thanks for your advice. This is it. Santiago says, thanks for your advice. Hi, Stephanie, thanks for your advice. 42-year-old male here, had great success starting keto. Oh, but after 18 months, I'm starting to gain a little weight again, 3-4 pounds. What's happening? Santiago, 3-4 pounds. It sounds like water. Like, some of the women are like, I've gained 16 pounds. If you're at 3-4 pounds, that's not a lot. So, I don't know what's going on in your everyday life. I don't know the things that are changing. Things change every day, so don't say that they're not. Okay. Hi, Briseis. I'm trying to do this a short stream, so Briseis or Deborah remind me to keep it short. So let's say I do like 20 minutes more. Let me do the splits here. What's going on with my tripod? I don't understand it. Let me get it better, you guys. Don't go any higher. Okay. All right. So, that's better. Yes. Thank you for putting things in perspective. Okay. Thank you. So I want to talk about hormones because, Santiago, this has a lot to do with the weight gain, weight loss on a ketogenic protocol. So yesterday, I think I did a stream. No, yesterday? Yep, day before. I don't remember. They blur together. That the Today Show did a, rating the worst diets of 2018 and rated the ketogenic diet as one of the worst diets of 2018. And I see more and more videos explaining how bad keto is, and it's because of all of this obsession to lose weight. And so the consultation I had this morning was really important to discuss. Have a slappy session. Let's have a slappy. Slap some grinds? Smith grinds? Right? Smith? You guys can't see it. Smith grind. That's a Smith grind. Anyway, as you guys know, you guys may not know, I used to be a pro skateboarder, and I'm 51. And I run a course page. And I have an Instagram before I forget, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. Sorry to digress, but it's a live stream. It's not like pre-made, or there's no script, so you kind of do whatever on the fly. Okay. So, the problem with weight gain or the benefit of fat loss, would it be healthy if I ran? No, it would not be healthy. Okay. Recycle that question because it's a good question. 53 pounds and counting, I feel... What? Oh, you saw me Future Primitive! Oh, not that many people know that. You feel awesome. Yes, I was in Future Primitive doing a boneless at Derby Park, you guys. Memories. I really feel like now when kids today, I was like talking to some skaters about the PAL videos. I'm like, you've heard of the PAL series? They're like, no. I was like, what? Oh, what am I, 100 years old now? Come on, you guys. The internet, Pal Peralta. Who's Pal Peralta? What? Future Primitive Derby Park session. Love the footage. Yeah, that was special day. Yeah. Yeah, Tony Hawk was here that day. Cavalier was there that day. Anyway, so please talk about portions for how much fat to eat. Okay, I will in a second. I want to talk about hormones right now. It's a little bit more interesting than the ratio. The macro is boring to me. I'll do another macro video. I've done a million macro videos, but the reason why... So I was inspired by the woman this morning in my consultation because she was like, I want to do keto, and I plateaued. So I started going into a thing that she might have considered a long diatribe of questions and commenting. But I said to her, like, things like, have you had a child? What's your menstrual cycle like? Like, have you gone through menopause, perimenopause? Like, I didn't talk about what her existing diet was because she'd already told me she did the HG diet. And I don't want to say the whole thing because YouTube becomes so picky about what you say. And she'd done that, which is like 500 calories plus prenatal supplements, and also 500 calories. So people will do really well the first time they do it. They do okay the second time, third time it's not working. They're plateauing and they don't know why. And I'm like, you think that your metabolism's like broken? There's a part where your body doesn't want to burn anything. If you continue to be going through food deprivation and lifestyle stress, then the metabolism just goes, stop. And I don't mean hammer time. I mean, it's stopped. Like, your body won't budge on burning fat, right? So, things I'm trying to fix my hormones with keto. So, all of these subjects are married or cousins or, you know, smashed together because if the Today Show says that keto is one of the worst diets, it's because people constantly and chronically make mistakes doing it. Anybody who does keto to lose weight really, really fast is going to go through metabolic hiccups. So, first thing that you have to consider is what was your metabolic strength before you did keto. So, let's take a look at my body. Stephanie, before I did keto, had abs. I didn't have the muscles that I have now by any stretch. I didn't have any of that. I was not as muscularly developed as I am now. And I was lean, but I didn't have the muscularity. My glutes weren't firing, my hams. Like, my legs are looking really, really good right now with having 10 knee surgeries. But there's been a lot of hormonal benefits from me being on a ketogenic protocol from the age of 41 to 51 on keto, or 40 to 51. So, the thing that this woman didn't understand is like, why am I not losing weight? And I'm like, okay, you did the HG diet, and then you also did intermittent fasting, and you also did the bulletproof thing, or the buttered coffee. And so, you know, perhaps 3-4 years all together, she's done all these things. Thank you so much, Mark Weiss. Thank you for donating a tour to the super chat. I really appreciate the acknowledgement of what I'm trying to do. So thank you so much. But she didn't factor in her prior and current health. When you guys do these dietary measures, you're not doing that. And it's super important. It's so important to know what's going on with your body before. So people are like, what kind of test should I do on keto? And I'm like, an insulin test, which is hormones, could be beneficial. Your A1C, to check your blood sugar over a 3-month period. To get a glucometer, see your daily fasted blood sugar is really important. Also, what's important is your hormonal panel. So that would be your 3 estrogens and your testosterone and progesterone levels would be for men and women, or women and men. And also the cholesterol, I don't care. Now, you could test T3, T4. Sometimes that's subjective because you could show a presence of T3, T4, reverse T3, all this stuff in the bloodstream. But your TP antibodies may not be tested, and your antibodies might be high, or you could do a TSH and it turns out to be normal, but your body's not taking in the thyroid hormone. So if you have thyroid symptoms, hormones, thyroid, hair shedding, cold, constipation, dry skin, can't lose weight no matter what you do, no matter how much you deprive yourself of food and starve, and go and do a full thyroid panel, be on a TSH, and it comes back normal, then don't go, it's normal. How many women go, like, I'm fine. My thyroid's been tested and I'm fine. I'm like, would you do a full panel? What's that? Okay, don't tell me something's fine if you have the symptoms. So often, beyond studies and beyond the blood test, you have to look at, because your blood changes every freaking day, people. You have to look at your symptoms. And if you guys are like starving yourselves and you're not losing a drop of weight, you need to look at your hormones. Reproductive hormones, you can look at your, go ahead and do a full thyroid panel, which can be subjective. It's a hit or miss with that. You also have to look at your blood sugar, your A1C, and your insulin. And these tests will get you closer, but then ultimately you have to look at the symptoms. So when people, women and men too, you're like just not losing the weight, or you're not losing the weight where you just keep, like, no matter what you do, you just still have it here. Or women, you still have the cellulite, and you have the the big hips and thighs, or the waist. You have to look at what's going on. So hormones are going to be driven primarily by your diet, toxic exposure, and stress. Now, you hear this in videos all the time, but nobody actually really thinks about it. So I just did a live stream. Oh, Katie, you don't have to donate. Thank you, though. Katie wrote, thank you. Thank you so much for the live and the time you spent with See the time you spent with me. You freaking rock. Thank you, Katie. So Katie, she just came from the Keto course page. On Sundays, I do live mini consultations as a part of the membership package, and I spent a lot of time with her. So she essentially almost got like a full, like, I'm just saying this, Katie, for the crowd out there to see how beneficial the page is, but almost gave her like a full kind of consultation and almost like a pep talk, because a lot of problems with Katie, her problems have to do a lot with stress, and her stress is impacted with hormones, but also with her lymphatic system, her electrolyte balance, and a lot of people don't realize how much hormonal imbalances will just, I don't care if you think you've done everything, like there's like this little corner over here in your life you don't do, and if you don't address that little corner, it won't get fixed. I don't care if your macros are right. I don't care if you're freaking meditating. I don't care if you're diaphragmatic breathing. I don't care if like you're, like just if you're exercising. If you don't address that little problem right here that's connected to all your hormones, which is called stress, like just because you do this much work on stress doesn't mean like that one little area has to get fixed or the body won't change. It just won't. How do you balance your electrolytes on keto? By getting enough foods rich in potassium, spinach, avocados, bone broth, organ meats, things of this nature. Also, some salts have it, a little bit of it. A lot of meats have it, but not a lot. You could also get sodium. That's easy. That's an easy electrolyte to get. Supplemental magnesium, because our soils are depleted, and those are your electrolytes. And water, which I have right here that I need to drink more of. So Katie went live with me, but I actually appreciate Katie going live with me, because every time I do a consultation or every time I speak to someone, thank you so much for the 20, Katie. I mean, you don't have to do that at all. At the same time, I really appreciate that you are appreciating what I'm trying to do. It keeps me going. Just the appreciation part of it. But talking to people is way better sometimes than looking at numbers. People often want to send me their lab results, and I'm like, let's go over your life, okay? Because that's the rabbit's hole. Doctors can give you medications, pharmaceuticals, but the problem doesn't ever become solved because you're not looking at the initial problem of, well, why did you become electrolyte imbalanced? Like Katie might be malabsorptive. She may not be absorbing her potassium and magnesium. And so with too much sodium, then there's just chronic swelling. Or it could be the fact that she's standing all the freaking time and she doesn't have enough circulation in the body, and so the reservoirs, the lymphatic system becomes overbogged with the wrong balance, electrolyte balance, and standing and all this. The body has a hard time to regulate itself. So standing all the time can create an imbalance, right? Because everything's being pulled down towards the legs, and people don't move enough, right? They don't move enough, or they move too much. It's that fine balance, because you can exercise too much and have a cortisol reaction within the body. Go back to the basics. What do you mean go back to the basics? Basics of what? How to start keto? Because it's about hormones, this stream. Can you recommend some brands of coconut oil to use? No, coconut oil is not a required. It's just virgin coconut oil, but that's for the immune function and for brain health, not for keto. Oh, and for fighting like microbes, candida. But the reason why you guys are not adapting is, yeah. Santiago, look at the title of the thing. It's like hormones and fat loss and fat gain. So you guys can try to do keto and like you gain weight on it. So with Katie, her weight gain had gone up to 16 pounds within a month, but I'm pretty sure it's water because she's having lymphatic issues. Potential reasons for diarrhea when starting keto. Gallbladder, that's a potential huge reason. Gallbladder sludge, it's not breaking down the fats. Ends up in the toilet with loose stool, or the coconut oil, or MCT oil if you're overusing that. So with that said, or food sensitivity. With that said, you have to look at the sleep. So sleep's a big problem. That's the reason why I like to use blood glucometer to see if you're sleeping deep throughout the night, because if you keep waking up, your cortisol is going to be like, create this hypoglycemic roller coaster. Blood sugar is too low, so the body rebounds it real high. You wake up, can't sleep, wake up with a high fasted blood sugar. A lot of cortisol in the system. Too much cortisol is going to create an inflammatory response. Body doesn't like to burn fat or lose any weight, fat weight, when it feels like it's stressed. The body wants to hold onto a fat because that's the safety mechanism. So if your hormones are not in balance when it comes to cortisol or your reproductive system. So if you have a lot of stress can take from your reproductive tree. So now all of a sudden you become estrogen dominant as well as in men. And if you're having these issues, you're not going to adapt very well, I'm not going to lie. So there's a lot of work that has to be done with adapting, and it's beyond macros. Can I eat this much protein? How much fat is in my diet? And, can I do freaking almond flour pancakes? That's not keto. Keto has something to do with your physiological system, your genetics, your epigenetics, how you change all the damage that you created prior to doing keto. What are you going to do now from this day forward? Because if you do keto, you have to be very, very strict with your application of it, or it won't work, or you won't adapt, which is now you're starting to see videos on why people can't adapt on keto. You can't do it for the long term, because all those people out there who are having problems with it are doing it wrong. They're doing dirty keto. They're not focusing on stress, circadian rhythm. If they could actually poop out the estrogen that's a buildup in their body, if their gallbladder is functioning, if they have leaky gut, if they have histamine intolerance or sensitivities or seasonal allergies, or if they have a lot of candida, or if they got colds and flus all the time during the season, you can't adapt until those things are addressed. Dang, it's noisy. See, I'm adding fats, but not sure how much is. So you add, I always say this, so my videos are like a broken record. Now I know what certain musicians feel like when singing the same song. But you have to hit at least 200 grams of fat coming from animal fat. And the reason why I came to this conclusion is because I was just literally packing on the clients 3, 4, 5 people a day for years. And then people were not adapting on the coconut oil. It was like, and people are afraid of animal fat, so they'll do a lot of coconut oil or MCT oil, and then their ketones are in the toilets. And it wasn't until I did the animal fat switch, and then people's ketones started spiking. They start to feel better. Now, monounsaturated fats like olive oil and avocado oil are a part of the keto family fat because they're mono in our body is largely, and mono is but like meats have mono as well. They have monosaturates and poly. So we just want them in the right ratios. Do I have I don't have a gallbladder. Yes. Deborah Page. I've answered this so many times. Yes, you could do keto without a gallbladder, but you might have to use ox bile salt. You might have to use betaine HCl, or your body's been very smart and found a way to hold the bile salts without a gallbladder, which some bodies do that. They actually find a way to hold those salts. And so some people with no gallbladder do high fat and they're fine. But you'd have to chew your food incredibly slow and split up your fats. So don't intermittent fast and have a bunch of fat in 2 meals, essentially. No books on keto I recommend, only the one I'm working on, because you guys know I'm writing the ultimate keto book. So be patient, it will come out, and you will be able to get all this advice that I've been saying in video after video after video, but it will be condensed and it will be expressed it'll be like keto for dummies, but it'll hit everything, every freaking thing I keep talking about in all my videos. So when you read it, you can match your symptoms with what you're reading and then understand what the solution is. Okay, so now I'm going to take your guys' questions. So what, which I've seen before. Hi, I'm a type 1 diabetic, 6 foot 4 inches. Oh, you're tall. 205 pounds. I get into gluconeogenesis and my blood sugar goes up with anything more than 5 ounces of ribeye steak a meal trying to build muscle. Okay, so thank you. I didn't know that you were that tall. And I thought you were a girl, so there you go. See here? What? Okay. So he's a type 1 diabetic. Someone's saying, you can't do keto if you're a type 1 diabetic. You can go through ketoacidosis. Now, what people don't understand about type 1 diabetics is that they can develop ketoacidosis on eating carbs. Ketoacidosis comes from producing ketones without eating anything. It's a starvation mode. And so that's the reason why it's very important for type 1 diabetics to not fast. That's very, very dangerous for them. But What? I just need more information. It's not enough telling me that you eat steak and if you eat 5 ounces of ribeye. No, what? You don't need to eat more than 5 ounces of ribeye, but why ribeye? Why not organ meats? Have you tried kidney? Have you tried heart? Have you tried tongue? Have you tried liver? Because I don't think you've tried that, or have you tried that? And what happens if you go over 5 ounces? And here's my theory, not theory, well, it's a theory, but here's my fact with clients, is that when they eat too much protein, their blood sugar skyrockets. Thank you, What, for saying that. And I had a consultation when I spoke to, was it Katie? Was it you, Katie? Somebody was like, when I eat too much protein, my blood sugar just skyrockets. No, that was Richard. Yeah. You can't wait to get the book. And guess what, Katie? Things like our conversation goes in the book, right? Because I never thought of doing a section on keto when it comes to poor lymphatic balance. Like, I never thought of doing that. But because Katie's been on the course page for a while, and you know, she's gotten me really into this issue with swelling all over the body. So then that goes into the book. And not that I have the answers, I'm just going through by my own research, right? These are my findings as best as I can. You have to take it with a grain of salt. Steph has meal plans available for purchase on her website, stephanieperson.com. She's in the process of updating them. So yes, I have current meal plans, and they're great. They're great, and I'm just going to make more of them, and I'm going to add a few things that are not in the meal plans now, but they're still great. So if you want a meal plan now, they're on my site. Animal fats, there is no comparison. It's animal fats. Plant fats don't have the fatty acid profile like we do. People tend to raise their ketones when people are doing too much olive oil, which goes rancid very easy, and you cook with it and it goes rancid. A lot of you guys have histamine intolerance towards avocados, and animal fats really do well. A lot of people have issues with whey and casein and butter, so then they switch to lard or tallow. Love beef. Wait, I've been having a hard time looking for organic grass-fed beef, especially liver here in Brazil. Can you not get beef grass-fed from Argentina? Can you do that? Because I traveled to Brazil years ago, then went to Argentina, Buenos Aires, and it was amazing. Grass-fed beef everywhere, and it's just the next country over, so I'm kind of wondering about that. Maybe a trip to Argentina and buying half of a cow. Maybe. Any difference between raw animal fat and cooked heated animal fat? Raw animal fat's hard to eat, people. Like when people make beef tender or beef tallow, they render it down. When people eat ghee, you don't have, like butter, you could do raw. You can do butter raw, but then it has to be grass-fed from an A2 cow. It's hard to eat just straight animal fat without cooking it or rendering it or slow cooking it in large amounts. Why are people loud? Where's that noise coming from? Hold on one sec, guys. I think that is coming from next door over there, that noise, because they are fixing the apartment, the workers, but they're being a little loud, not gonna lie. Can we get the likes up, you guys? We've only got like 51 likes and 90 people in this chat. So if we can get the likes up, that would help me grow this very humble channel. Stephanie about to regulate, don't mess with the business. What? Oh, Stephanie's about regulate, don't mess with the business. Don't mess with the business. I missed something there when I went to go listen to the noise. I purchased your recipes from a site. Do you still stand behind the ingredients? No, I don't stand behind any ingredients. I hate recipes, but people are like food porn addicts. So what I try to do is cut out all the worst offenders. So in the book that I'm writing, I'll have recipes, which I don't really want to put in, but I will put disclaimers. What I have not done on the recipes that are on my site, which I will do now, is put disclaimers on the ones that I sell. So I've got recipes for $5.99. And I need to go and say, if you have nightshade, don't use tomatoes. If you have this, don't use that. If you have histamine intolerance to whey and casein, be careful for the butter. But yeah, what I've tried to do is minimize all of the nonsense. Yes, you did. I did. So, Deborah, give me 10 more minutes, and then we wrap it up. Thanks, Steph. What is the best way to protect from crepey skin? 50-year-old. What? I don't know how old you are. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the best way to create crepey skin. Don't intermittent fast. I don't know if you're intermittent fasting. I don't know the quality of food you talked about not being able to get grass-fed beef. Was that you? No, that was someone else. Shoot. Yeah. Thank you, Deborah. How often should we eat liver? You can eat it 3 times a week, or you can eat it every day. But at least like 3 times a week is really good if you're trying to get the real nutrient value from it. Yeah, like every other day, like 3 to 4 times a week. How many hours of deep sleep should you have a night? It's not hours because you don't have hours and hours. Like if you want to optimize your deep sleep, it should be at least like an hour and a half, hour and 45 would be great with deep sleep. You have a certain amount of awake sleep, REM sleep, and deep sleep. Like if you could 2 hours, that'd be amazing, right? But it's hard for us humans who do not live outside with a circadian rhythm to get 2 hours of deep sleep. It's just really, really hard. Hi, Steph. Can I put butter packs into my diet after I fix my leaky gut? Yeah. Do you have a problem with butter? Is that why you're saying, can you put it back in? Not really sure. You want to contextualize that comment. I think I've hit most of the questions. Do you guys have more questions before I go? Right? I used to say in my videos, this is the business. I was like at 40, I think I started at 45 or 46. Now I'm 51. People will find my old videos and say like, oh, you look really good for 46. I'm like, I'm not 46, I'm 51 now. Catch up, people. I look sicker then. I look better now. Okay, what is my body? What? Wait a second. Any tips on dealing with sugar withdrawals? Yeah, eat more fat. That should help. With sugar withdrawals is a typical sign of people not eating enough fat and too much protein. If your blood sugar spikes, you're going to start really wanting sugar. Want more water at night versus daytime. Probably because, like, for example, I have water right here. When I don't drink enough water throughout the day, I'm really dehydrated at night, even if I hit 2 liters at night. So you just reminded me to drink more water. And that's the reason why. It takes all day of drinking water to hydrate yourself properly. And that's probably why you're dehydrated at night, is that not drinking enough throughout the day. That's my guess. Is there any remedy for eye bags? Get more sleep, I guess. What I think it also has to do with your kidney function. Your organs are very much connected to your face when it comes to the lines here around the mouth, like on the jowl, like how your skin hangs. It's really how to do with inflammation. So probably the bags under your eyes have a lot to do with poor detoxification pathways. So the liver and the kidney and the colon are all connected. So, these are guesses. I don't know. Also, if you eat any of these foods, I'll always find organic or good quality cheese, no hormones, or no cheese. So just get rid of that. Doesn't matter. There's no good quality, especially if it's from an A1 cow and it's pasteurized. Get rid of it. No histamine symptoms when I wake up now. Used to have severe sinus symptoms with no actual congestion. Isn't that crazy? And here's another thing with this whole diamine oxidase, DAO, so Chris Masterjohn is talking about trying to get things to help DAO enzymatic production from eating kidneys and liver. So this is the reason why I keep pushing the organ meats, you guys. I think you guys are really nutrient deficient. Plus, you guys are not getting enough sun. So after this, I'm going to go to my rooftop and sit on the rooftop and expose my body to getting some vitamin D3, because vitamin D, so enzymatic, right? Enzymes, DAO, Vitamin D has everything to do with every enzymatic response in the body, but you need the equipment to be able to have your proper body working at homeostatic balance. Is chicken liver good for you as cow liver? Yes. I think cow liver, just pound for pound or kilo for kilo, has more nutrient density in it, but they have a lot of the same properties. I think that chicken liver has more hemoglobin, iron in it. Any tips for sugar addicts trying to keto? Yeah, more fat. Get your fat over 200 grams. Kerrygold cheese, pastured raised. Is that? No, it's horrible. Santiago, no. No cheese. And Kerrygold is corn finished. So no. How do you get potassium? Spinach. Let's just hope that you don't have a histamine response to it, because it's a high histamine food. Even Kerrygold butter causes congestion. Yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You might have to do ghee. You might have to cut out the butter altogether. My brows have filled back in. Oh, completely. Is that a sign of my adrenals healing? Deborah, it's a sign, most likely a sign of your, well, the adrenals are connected to your thyroid, but you might have had an underlying thyroid issue, so it's probably your thyroid as well. Both of them. Like, here are the adrenals, here's the thyroid. Boop. Desiccated liver, grass-fed pills. They have some nutrient density to them, but nothing beats real enzymatic live. No, it's not live, but and meat that hasn't been desiccated. So I'm really tired of people trying to use desiccated liver. Just go get real liver. Unless you guys cannot literally get grass-fed, desiccated, or pastured liver, then you can, not desiccated, real liver from animals, then you can use desiccated until you can find grass-fed or pastured, like chicken or lamb or pig or whatever that's liver. Please do another pull-up and push-up demo. I'm not doing one now, child. Go watch my go to my Instagram, where you watch me do handstand push-ups with no wall, and do like full 51, guys. Don't forget full extension pull-ups, 10 solid, and I go really slow. I don't do this. I do here, or really slow in the negative. I've been working on that stuff for years. Okay, seasonal allergies. That's the gut. After keto, itchy, watery eyes, constant sneezing. Sounds like DAO production went in Flaca. Is it Flaca? Flaca, you probably did keto wrong. And we do keto wrong. Here's where you start to have a problem with everything, right? If you did mono foods, if you ate the wrong foods, if you weren't adapted and there's a lot of cortisol in your system, then you might have a problem with histamine intolerance. So again, the kidneys are good for that. And probably like candida die-off symptoms as well. What are your thoughts on having heavy cream? Garbage. Get rid of it. Child, you just need to go with the grass-fed butter and get off the cheese and get off the heavy cream. There's too much whey and casein for a lot of you guys. Let's do some boneless? I did some good boneless ones. My friend has almost all the magazines I was in, Thrasher and Transworld, and a couple of European magazines. And I'm doing a really sweet boneless one on an embankment, Montague Banks in San Jose. Okay, how about make sure to keep joints and skin healthy for the future? Which is really great, because liver has so many great things in it. So when you guys are wanting like biotin, and you're wanting vitamin A, and you're having vitamin C and potassium and small amounts of magnesium, when you get all of these vitamins and minerals, it's really, really, really CoQ10 things to heal the cells, right? So you don't get crepey. You get some nice fat with a lot of fat soluble vitamins, and some egg yolks if you can tolerate the yolks with the little bits of egg protein, or the butter if you can deal with fine grass-fed as best you can. What herbs do you use or approve? All of them have issues, unfortunately. The only season that's really, really good is salt. It's a naturally occurring thing that our bodies need, unless you have some really weird gene mutation where you can't consume salt. But a lot of the herbs are salicylates, and people react to them. Pepper, black pepper is a nightshade, but I don't seem to react on any of these. Nutritional yeast can be good, but it's high in carbs, so be careful with that. The B complex isn't very good. Better to do organ meats. And I think that brag is a fermented soy. You know, people do coconut aminos, things of this nature. But the herbs, Italian herbs, yeah, if you don't react to them, thyme, oregano, basil, rosemary, like all those things are really great. Garlic, if you don't react, pepper, if you don't react. There are other spices like nutmeg when I make like Christmas faux cookies, but it hasn't been a long time since I've done that. And cinnamon. No, it's not fortified. I mean, fortified nutritional yeast, there's fortification of foods is nonsense. So if you're going to get your B complex, just get it from liver. And you have to be careful with the nutritional yeast because it's high in carbohydrates. It's the bomb, Soul says, for Bragg's liquid amino acids. I bought wild camel hump fat. I heard that it was really good. So I've never had it before. I know, I'm just so subjective. I'm like, poor little camel humps. Little camel. I rode camels when I was in Egypt, if you guys can see here. Egypt. See the pyramid? Oops. Those are my pictures, you guys, that I took traveling. See the pyramid? I went riding camels, the one on the Giza pyramids. Steph, thoughts on bee pollen? I've never tried it before, and I heard that bee pollen can spike your blood sugar, so I just don't prescribe it to people that I work with. Yes, I have a calendar. Consultations are now open. You guys are bugging me forever to open up my calendar. Now it's open, so I want to remind people to book a consultation before it gets booked up. No, you can have garlic. Just some people cannot have garlic. What are the signs of being sensitive to nightshades? People have like allergy symptoms, sinus infections, stomach aches. A lot of people get stomach aches from nightshades. Just don't feel well. Feel tired, achy. Heard about wild camel fat recently. Too nervous to try it. I'm not nervous to try it. It just, we become unfair with the animals that we feel that are okay to kill and eat, and it's not fair. It's subjective, but it feels kind of weird to eat a camel because I rode a camel. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of camels. So, yes. To book a consultation with Stephanie, go to her website, stephanieperson.com. So you guys, she wrote it out. So if you guys want to know how to spell stephanieperson.com, and of course you can sign up for the keto course page through the website, or you can go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, because I post on my stories every single day. How to get iron count up? Chicken liver. Severely, get on it now. Like, what are you waiting for? Liver. Liver will bring up your hemoglobin like this. Boop. It's amazing what liver can do. It's a superfood. It's the most nutrient dense food, period. And I don't think that vegans would disagree with that. They just might try to talk about nonsense about meat blunting insulin receptors and stupid stuff like that. Oh, it's hit the 10 minutes. Thank you, duck fat. Love duck fat. Yes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining the chat. We finally got the likes over the amount of people here. Don't forget to like up the stream if you haven't already done it. This is me, and I got energy. 51 on keto, 11 years, no refeeds, no carbs, no sugar, no sweet fruits in 11 years. And if you guys do the video catalog where I've been in half tops and workout clothing the entire time, you can see that my body continues to just improve as time goes on. So I feel so lucky and so fortunate that I found this dietary measure. Sorry, Mom, I found it through her being diagnosed with a stage 4 glioblastoma brain tumor, but she's still alive. Yay! So I found it this way. I'd actually heard about keto before, but I really feel like the learning of keto and applying it to my mom and to myself, that's when I really found keto. Like, I heard about it before, I just didn't care about it then. What is the strategy once I'm keto adapted to drop my body fat? Nelson, that's a long story. And I definitely have a lot of live streams on that, but I can say very quickly that once you're fully adapted, which takes months and months and months, then you can change your exercise program, and you can also, you probably will start naturally dropping a little fat if you're adapted. So you don't have to make massive changes to drop body fat, but you can like if you're already doing all the lifestyle changes with sleep, circadian rhythm, having straight posture, plumb line, dealing with stress, sleeping well, and all this, then what you're adapted, then it could be perhaps population. Oh, stop, Mark. What did you write? Are you Googling? So my neighbor now is watching me. Now you know what my apartment looks like. Okay, but fat loss will come by most likely drop. I know, Mark. By lowering your. It depends if you're doing like 300 grams of fat, you could lower it to like 200 or 180. But you don't want to go too low, because when your fat starts to drop too low on a ketogenic protocol, you go out of ketosis. So you are defeating the whole purpose. Okay, Steph, this is a stupid question, but how do I cut down on protein if I love eating steaks? What? It's easy. You just up your fat. I had this conversation last night with one of my keto, like a keto follower that became a friend, him and his wife. We went out last night, and he's like, I can't eat too much steak. I just eat pork jowl, because pork jowl is like 90% fat, and then I can just pig out on it. And I was like, look, all right, his nickname is Tank. I go, look, Tank, all you have to do, and he's having issues with butter, is that all you have to do is raise your beef tallow or lard, put it in a saucepan, and if you don't have a problem with salicylates, spice it, garlic, salt, at least, a little bit of pepper. If you don't have a problem with the nightshade, typically women have more problems with nightshades, but anyone can. And put it in a mason jar, and then you can, when you're eating your steak, you just slam it with a lot of tallow, or you can slam it with lard or butter if you don't have a problem with butter. And I promise you, you won't overeat. You just start pounding the fat down. And then you try to eat like more than 5 ounces or 6 ounces of a ribeye. You can't. You know, especially if you get a really fatty ribeye, you're stuffed. What adjustments do I need to make to go from maintenance to muscle gain? Santiago, you're asking a lot of questions when I'm trying to go, and to be honest, you should sign up for my keto course group and ask those questions there, or do a consultation, because it's such a long explanation of what to do to gain muscle, or a whole stream dedicated to that, which I've done before. And that has a lot to do with your hormones, right? Your reproductive hormonal balance, your sleep, your circadian rhythm, your A1C, and your insulin when it comes to muscle gain, because you want to be insulin sensitive. If you're insulin sensitive and you're not going through a lot of gluconeogenesis and you're fully adapted, you should start gaining weight with the types of training. As you guys know, I always talk about the sliding filament theory of actin and myosin grinding together, right? And this is to create a blistering factor hypertrophy, and then muscles start growing because you're not as catabolic. But essentially, if you're insulin sensitive, then you're going to be able to get, if you're eating less protein, you're able to get the protein within the muscle cell very easy to grow if you're less catabolic and insulin sensitive. Conspiracy theory, ice in your drinks causes mucus in the body. I've never even heard of that, so there you go. That doesn't make any sense. Like, where's that? You put the ice in your mouth, then this like physiological thing happens. A, then B, then C, then mucus. Like, it's just like you eat ice, you have mucus. You know, mucus buildup tends to be a release of histamine from the mast cells. So and I don't know what mucus where you're coming. There's mucus in a lot of places in our body. Up in here, like here, right? There. Chew ice, whatever. Bonjour, Stephanie. Was it de plus and plus something? Magnifique. Oh, thank you. Magnifique. I wish I could speak French and Swahili and Spanish and Brazilian Portuguese. More than just prata svenska, tyvärr. Jag älskar Sverige, men jag vill lära mer språk. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Deborah had to remind me to get off the stream. Thank you for today's broadcast. I've been to Prague before. Oh, I love Prague. It's literally probably my favorite city on the planet. Besides, like, Not including Egypt, because everywhere you go in Egypt, you're like, let's say that Praha is one of my favorite European cities. It is, without a doubt, my favorite European city, and I've been to most of them. Right, chicken bone broth, potassium for those who can't do spinach. It's a start. Or avocado, if you don't have a latex allergy. Or avocados are also high releasing histamine foods. Prague is next on my list. So cool to travel there solo. I went there with a friend years ago. But I travel so much alone, you guys. Like, I've traveled with people, I've traveled alone. I have no problem traveling alone. I have no problems traveling with people. I could do either or. And I mean, I lived deep into Africa for a couple of months by myself, and I used to do Steph stories, and that was pretty much a trip. Good accent in French. Not. French is like that. What is it? It's the L? No, it's not the L. It's the R in French that is freaking, because they don't say R. There's another type of up in the nasal passages that French, I can't do it. I have to, like, I'm really good with languages, but I have to repeat. They say it, I repeat. I say it, I repeat. Like, they say a word and I say it again. And then I have to do that for like an hour before I start to mimic the sound. For bone broth, must be bones, grass-fed. Yes, please. It should be from healthy animals. I'm not going to lie. Skateboarders are always ahead of the curve and trends. They are. Well, they used to be. I don't know if the kids are today. It became really commercialized. When I was skateboarding, people had their own t-shirts, magazines, companies. They were photographers, videographers are very creative. That's how I became very creative. That's how I started getting into photography, was through skateboarding. And people were talking about Kafka when on trains, when I would, like, the skaters were talking about reading about Kafka and like all these different dictators like Idi Amin and Stalin, and I was like, Stalinism, I was like, what's that? And I was like, 19 years old, growing up with, like, I don't know, stupid shows like The Love Boat and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know anything about the world when I was younger. I was dumb as a box of freaking rocks. So skateboarding actually changed my life and probably got me to be so successful with keto. The skateboarding, different in the 80s for sure. I can't find bones from grass-fed animals in my area. That sucks, Christina. Go online, you might be able to do it. What are the problems related to the keto diet once I smoke? Everything. It's unsuccessful. Your body's completely irritated. So irritation, high cortisol, equals no adaptation. Which liver is the more nutritious, beef or lamb? I don't know. I have no idea. I think that people tend to like lamb more than beef. Grass-fed animals are very difficult to find in Italy. Well, you're going to have to get in your car and you're going to have to go and drive to Germany because you can get it there. Okay? Boop. You're going to have to get in your car and drive just like the Brazilian who's got to go to Argentina and go and buy a portion, a third of a cow, and put it in a freezer box and drive it home. That's all you can do. I know you can get grass-fed in Germany, but I don't know if you can get grass-fed in Switzerland, which sits in between Italy and Germany. And how do I know? Because I skateboarded many, 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 many times in all of Europe, everywhere. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Which is why I end up speaking Swedish, you guys, because I was skateboarding and ended up moving. Jag flyttade till Sverige. Och det är därför jag pratar lite svenska. That's the reason why I learned Swedish, is through skateboarding, moving to Sweden. Now, Christina, now you lost my girlfriend. Stephanie now has left the building with that one. Funk, what? Dance funk. During periods, sugar is high. That's normal. Don't worry about that. The estrogen coming and going 2 times in your cycle is the problem. So don't worry about it. It's normal. Did you ever have major chronic conditions like like the rest of us? Chronic conditions? I would think I did. Yes, I've had a lot of cavities. Yes. I used to have colds and flus all the time. I used to have bad menstrual cycles. Really bad. Really bad. I was always anemic when I was younger. I've had 10 surgeries on my left knee. And when I was a young girl, I was always constipated. So yeah, I did. Oh, she speaks 7 languages. Stop bragging. It's not fair. We grew up in America not learning anything. Brazil. I love Brazil. I love Brazil. Been to Brazil. That was a trip. That was a freaking trip. Long time ago. Okay, now I'm talking too much. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to like up the stream. Thank you for the respect. I'm trying, you guys. You know, I'm a feisty girl. So you see some streams. I'm talking 100 miles an hour. I'm like, you know, I've got my internet persona. It really depends on the mood. You all know that. You guys can be feisty in the morning and relaxed at night. Your opinion can change in a day depending on your mood. So when I do live streams, thank you, Deborah. When I do live streams, it really depends on the mood that I'm in, how I react. But at the end of the day, this is not 100% myself in the context I'm speaking to my phone. Oh, Scotland. You guys know I love Scotland. Went to the Highlands. And on a skateboard trip with Tony Hawk years ago. Scotland was a good experience. Taxi driver picked us up. Didn't understand. Went to Glasgow. Didn't understand a word he said. But somehow I have this affinity of this Scottish culture. But also, you guys, I've been to Africa 4 times, so it's not just Eurocentricity. It's also Afrocentricity and Asian centricity. I just love people all around the world. Love. How do I conduct workouts at home and achieve results? Sorry, my English. Marco, I'm going to do that. I can do that next stream. So push the notification bell, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Because when I'm at the end of a broadcast, I don't want to start answering really complex questions. Hablas español? Un poquito. Like, so little, it's a joke. I live here in California. I am embarrassed that I don't know more Spanish. I am so good with languages that I can pick it up fast. Like, after learning Swedish, Spanish is, like, easy. I just have to be around it more often. And I'll pick it up like that. Play basketball better than you? I should hope so, because I busted my knee. So, you know. But you can't skateboard better than I can. And you can't do the gym stuff better than I can. No, I'm being silly now. Okay, guys, and I'm very competitive. That's how I became a pro skater, where I only skated with guys and competed with guys. This guy DM'd me on Facebook. He's like, oh, so how were you a pro skater? And I was like, well, I skated in the pro circuit in Europe, because there was no amateur, and there was in America, but there wasn't that in Europe. So if you skate in a pro series, you are instantly pro. But Europe at that time was really messy. And he's like asking all these weird questions. I said, baby cakes, there were no guys and girls in skateboarding back in the day. We had to skate with the guys. Okay. Muchos videos en su canal, my channel, de YouTube en los locales está mostrando. No, I think you're saying something. Okay. Yeah, time to go. I'm getting tired. I've been streaming all day. My knee's starting to hurt because I've been standing on it forever. Bye, guys. Until next time. Peace out. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And if you guys want me to say a particular subject, say it in the comments below. I've been trying to do it. It's been 20 minutes. Sorry. You just have to go through my channel to see more extras. I'll do more. I will. 2019, it's coming. So don't forget to hit the notification bell if you guys want me to do a particular subject, exercise, whatever it is. Comment below, and I'm out. Thanks, Deborah, for reminding me. Skate Keto Live. Yeah, that's what's up. Gracias de nada. Oh, you're saying to Olivios. Okay, bye, guys.